And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon, and this man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him. Now, consolation of Israel was Messiah. He was waiting for the Messiah, though he was very old. And it had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. Now, he was not a scribe. He did not know the entire law in his heart. He knew. He would have known the law. He would have known the prophecies. But greater than that, the Holy Spirit had put it in his heart, he would not die till he has seen the Messiah. Because he had the heart to see the Messiah. He had the willingness to see the Messiah. He wanted the Messiah to really be his king. Verse 27. So he came by the Spirit into the temple. Amazing. And then we also see that in verse 28, he took him up in his arms and blessed God and said, look at that. He carried baby Jesus. Amazing, right? Here are a group of people in the palace of Herod, learned men, chief priests, religious men, scribes. They knew the Bible, they knew the law, they knew the prophets. They knew where exactly Jesus was born. Yet, because they did not have the willingness to accept Christ, they did not get to see Jesus. But here is a man who did not know, so much of what they knew. He was a simple man. He was an old man. But he was a devout man, a man who loved God. That he had prepared his heart, saying, I want to meet the Lord. I want him to be my king. And the Holy Spirit on that particular day spoke to Simeon, today you go to the temple, you will meet the Messiah. And this old man was so old, so frail, so weak. Maybe he had to gather so much of strength to walk out of his house. But that day he did. He came to Jerusalem, to the temple. He was not disappointed. He not only saw the Messiah, he carried the Messiah. He not only carried the Messiah, he had the privilege to speak over the Messiah a prophecy about the death and the resurrection of the Messiah. What a privilege. So here are two people who were prepared in their hearts and they met their Lord and they were so blessed. One was Joseph because he was a believer. He believed what God told him. Never give room to doubt. Never give room to fear. Believe what God says to you, what God has spoken to you, no matter how difficult your circumstance is. And secondly, we see Simeon. He had the willingness to obey. He wanted to really meet Jesus, that Jesus would actually be his king. He had the willingness and he obeyed. The chief priests and scribes, they had a lot of knowledge. They were not willing to obey. They lost their opportunity. If you are willing to obey, how do we prepare ourselves? We prepare ourselves by being willing to obey, by having the willingness to obey God.